Hello everyone, today let's learn how to make this soft rainbow effect in touchdesigner. Part of this network already being covered in the previous video, which I will link down below. That one creates a slightly different visual effect, which is also quite cool. And this one is more soft and happy and very gentle vibe. So if you like these visuals, I will show you how did I build it and specific parameters I'm using for it. Start with the audio. I use the Nikes from Justice Stir. He make great guitar covers for Frank Ocean's song, and I think the visuals is quite suitable for this one. It's quite soft, meditative, and calming. For this one, I'm only using the low to drive the visuals. I want to use the kick and snare to drive things, and mainly that's the low frequency of a song. So in here, I'm using my component. I just change the threshold to a suitable range that I'm able to capture the kick and snare I want. And then I didn't change anything. This is the default value. Yeah, you can also get this value from the building component audio analysis from touchdesigner. I made my own component just to drag out the most commonly used parameters I'm using. So yeah, that's about it. You can also download this in my Patreon. For the main visual part, I will first show you how to create the soft flowy effect on the left, and then we turn it into a spiral effect on the second. First, add a constant and to set the resolution, and add a noise. Chop the reference to the resolution and select 32-bit flow RGBA, and this is the parameters I'm using for the noise. And transform I will talk about later, which I use the dry to drive it. So once you have the noise, add to a level, change the brightness to 0.6, and then add to a limit. Use the quantize here to get a pixelated texture. I will show you in here. So this is our original noise, and then after the limit quantize, we get this pixelated effect. And then we add a bloom. Here we change the pre-black level and to only apply the bloom to certain parts of the pixel. So the pre-black level determines the threshold of the blackness level here. If we use 0.5, that means the pixel value below 0.5 will get blacked out, and above this threshold we will add the bloom effect to it, so only part of the pixels get highlighted. And then again I'm using the low to drive it. After the bloom, you just connect it to a null. You can change the name if you want. Now we've got this pixelated bloom effect. We're gonna feed it into a feedback loop. To understand this feedback loop, we have our bloom one, and we add a displace inside the feedback loop. What we displace the bloom 1 with bloom 2, and these two blooms are slightly different in terms of parameters. So after the displace, it will shift the pixel slightly bit and get a distorted effect. And then we also use a level to grab a tiny bit of our bloom 1 and add on top of it. We combine this distorted texture together with a slightly bit of bloom 1, and then use a operation over. Yeah, remember the level is on top of this one. We want to add each time slightly bit of our bloom texture on top of it, and then in this way you can create this trailing effect. After that, I connected to a lookup using another noise to change the colors, and then turning it into this spiral effect is quite simple. There is a previewed component in touchdesigner where you can find it under the image filters bloom. You just drag it here, and this is parameters I'm using. So another thing I add to the bloom is I using an LFO to drive the the rotation of the swirl. In here, I'm using the ramp, which give me an increasing number from 0 to 1, and I remap to -2 to 10, and then add to a null, name is swirl, and then chop the reference to here. And that's basically it. That's how I created this soft rainbow effect. For the audio reactive one, like I said, I'm using the low to drive the visuals, and I used it in 3 parts. I used to drive the noise, and I use it to drive the bloom, and I think only these 2 actually. So in here we change the noise, translate TZ. I use the expression apps times seconds divided by 10 plus our low frequency. The idea here is you want to have a base value together with the audio reactive part, which make the visuals much more natural. And then for the bloom here, I just using the low to change the black level, pre-black level. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.